Hey guys, it is Meme Dreams Gaming here today, and we are going to be looking at the phenomenon in PUBG that is called bridge camping. Today we are going to be going over how to avoid bridge camping, how to successfully complete bridge camping, and ways to identify if a bridge camp is currently happening. Before you get the video started, though, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. It helps me keep going and making you this great content. And let's get right into it. So first, I'm going to be talking about how to identify a bridge camp. Now, sometimes this can be very difficult, depending on the weather. I just had a fog match where it's impossible to see to the second sort of blockade on the bridge, so I could not tell there was a bridge camp. But most times in clear weather, I usually stop at the very end of the bridge and look down the bridge with a ×4 or ×8 scope. You can also do this with a red dot, and I try to look for any sort of movement, whether you can see their feet moving, or if a vehicle is parked there, or if you see him laying down. And then once you identify that he's actually there, you can start to plan around it. Now that goes into a couple things now, the ways to avoid a bridge camp. Now there's several ways you can do this. You can either go into the water and just swim around, which is probably the safest way, but least effective, because obviously you're going to be in the water for a long time. You're not going to have any ability to heal or to fire back, so it's not very a safe position. Another thing you can do is try to take a fight from the end of the bridge and try to kill him before you cross. That's a little bit difficult, especially if you don't have the right scope needed, but it is possible. Next is go full speed with your car and hope that he does not shoot you, which is kind of risky because you're putting your entire life in the hands in the assumption that the guy will miss his shots, which is not always true. You know, a lot of times, depending how long they've played, some people are really good at tracking shots and actually hitting moving vehicles. Plus, you don't know what weapon he has. If he has an M240, he is just going to instantly blow up your car and you're not going to have a chance. So, you have to choose one of those methods to get around it. There's also a method I saw recently of a guy like jumping on the side rail and walking that way, but that's still very risky because you're out in the open, you have very little cover. The only benefit of that is if you get shot at, you can jump in the water and then swim the rest of the way across. Other than that, you are sort of stuck fighting him. Sometimes you can sort of set a trap where you wait for someone else to cross the bridge and then follow them and hope to catch the guy off guard while he's fighting someone else. But this is all just depending on your situation. As for how to successfully pull off a bridge camp, there's a few things you need to do. You need to try to make a physical barrier with cars, such as trying to if you drive there in a car, use it to block the way. If you kill someone, don't just leave their car there. Take their car and put it next to your vehicle so you create a larger block. This way, no one can just drive right on by you. They have to stop or hit the barrier and fight you. This also gives you some protection from being run over, because that is one of the largest concerns. When you are on the bridge, people could just aim for you and just try to run you over. Also, try to stay hidden. Try not to move too much and reveal your position in case someone is watching the bridge, because a lot of the times your biggest fear is if someone starts shooting at you from behind. Because if there's a guy in front of you and a guy behind, you are trapped out in the open on a bridge. So try to stay still until you hear a vehicle coming. Then obviously make sure you're leading the vehicle and try to get a few shots. You don't have to kill them right away in the car. As long as you get good damage, if you set up your blockade correctly, they're gonna have to stop and face you anyway. Which once they stop, obviously you have a health advantage and a tactical advantage with more cover. You should be able to win that fight. That is something that you have to be able to do. Now, in closing, there are a few lucky ways I've seen people get around. I had a full blockade up, and I saw someone just go full speed, hit the blockade, and his car just happened to uh, hit it, bounce off of it, and keep driving, and he actually made it through, which I was very surprised at. But, that was a risky maneuver by him, but it paid off. Other than that, most of the time, bridge camping, you also just need to learn from your mistakes and set yourself up and just keep trying it. I think learning how to bridge camp is very important. Also, learning how to avoid it. Once you know how it works and you see how people are doing it, you can get around that. Also, last tip, little bonus tip here, make sure you realize what vehicle they have. I've had that before where I am waiting for a vehicle, I hear it, and I start firing, and I think I have a blockade set up so they can't run me over, and it turns out he's in a motorcycle and just runs me over. Any other vehicle, any sort of four-door vehicle would have been blocked, but the motorcycle was small enough to hit me. So make sure you're paying attention to what vehicle it is so you can avoid being run over. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys have any other tips and tricks, make sure you share them below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.